Hi, Ashley Miller, Anchorage, Alaska, age 26, diagnosed bipolar type 2, general anxiety disorder, PTSD, and a borderline personality disorder. And I've been making videos lately a lot about doctors and housing and my ex that I have a kid with. And being kicked out on the 15th, and this one place would not call me back, and this other, which was a church, told me that there hasn't been a lot of office time, so they probably won't know anything till next week. And I actually got a hold of that one place that hasn't been answering yesterday, and she basically just had resources out in the valley. No funding, no assistance in getting in anywhere, like she had basically made me believe. And so I call these places, and they're like, well, it's basically a month away before any of the income-based apartments open up, so you need to call them and get your application, and it's going to cost $20 per application. And I'm like, well, I don't really freaking have any money. And he's like, well, it's going to cost you to get in somewhere. And I'm thinking, that's why I'm calling for help, like, but whatever. So, and he told me it was like a month away. And I'm like, well, I've called all those places, and they told me it was 6 months to 2 years. There was no way of knowing. And he's like, they're just being negative. You just need to get your application in there. And then you need to call Family Promise, which is a shelter out in the valley, and they have caseworkers there, and they'll let you stay there for 10 weeks, but you have to have your kid with you. And like, two stipulations: I won't put my kid in a shelter, and I'm not going to a shelter. Like, I'll sleep in my car and she can go to her dad's, as much as that would suck, but I'm not going to put her in a place with a bunch of random people. Like, I don't know who they are. I don't know what they got going on. Like, I take sleeping medicine. Like, I can wake up to my kid, but, I mean, she probably has to, like, nudge me a couple times, but I ain't gonna, no. I'm doing that to her, and that's the only way they'll accept me is if I bring her. And so now I'm really discouraged, because it's like, what's the church gonna know? Like, what apartments are they gonna know of that are gonna let me in? You know? And so what I've been contemplating is asking my brother if I can stay an extra 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I don't want to do that, because I hate asking for help, and I really hate asking for help when I know people don't want you there. And, like, it's already been hell being here, that I don't know how his wife would treat me if I stayed longer. Part of me is like, I don't know, I haven't even asked my brother. Like, I've been putting it off all day yesterday and all day today. And, like, I'm sick, like, literally, like, I feel nauseous. I have this weird taste in my mouth, like, there's having all these physical things going on, but I don't feel like I'm, like, got a cold. I feel like it's stress, and I want it to go away, because it's lasted forever, it seems. And, you know, and another thing is, if I stay with my brother in the next 2-3 weeks, I finally have got on with this one doctor, and, I mean, I haven't got in yet, but it's it's got to be next week, because they called me last week saying it would be this week, so, I mean, hopefully it's next week, and they can set me up with a caseworker who can help me with my disability. And, that guy that I talked to in the valley said that these places that I'm going to should know of funding. Of course, the piece of crap place that I'm going to said that's not their job. They don't deal with that. And he said they do know about it. They do have funding that other places don't. So hopefully this other place will. You know, and I'll get my medicine for free. Like, to me, it just makes more sense to try to stay here a little bit longer, even though I don't want to. And I just don't know what my brother is going to say, and I don't know how I'm going to be treated by his wife after that, because she despises me. Like, I have a decent-sized room, and it's downstairs, and I have my own bathroom. I mean, it's got the laundry room in it, which they come in, but I can shut the door, so I don't have to, like, see that or whatever. And then I got a microwave. It's, like, smart ones. Woohoo! It's, like, frozen meals. It's, like, all I've been eating. So I don't have to go upstairs.
Mommy?
Yeah? I know, you're so cute.
Hey, Mommy, can you open this present?
It doesn't open. But hold on, okay? Hold on, you're beautiful. You know, and I can handle that for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like, if, you know, like, I should have talked to my brother today, so tomorrow in the morning I could have got up and turned in all those applications and got that process going. But, so I'm just like kind of, no ma'am. So I'm just like freaking out about that. 3, 2.
No, I'm tired.
Okay, we better chill out.
Mommy? My eyes are red.
They are all red.
Mm-hmm.
My baby's sick too, but I gave her Tylenol and now she thinks she's okay. But,
Look like this.
so,
Look, Mommy, like this.
yeah, and these doctors that I have to continue seeing until I can get in with these other doctors, like, I called and said, hey, I can't afford to come in my appointment. Oh, well, if you can't afford it, then we can reschedule. And then I told him, okay, well, what do I do about my medicine? Can't afford that either. And, like, left 2 messages for my doctor to call me back. And that was yesterday. Still haven't heard from them. Their office is now closed. Like, they do not care. And I've gone off my medicine before, like, straight up just gone off, and that is a horrible feeling. Anxiety, hopelessness, depression, like, I get suicidal. I mean, I've never gone off this particular one, but I know anytime I have, it hasn't been good.
Hey, Mommy, look at me.
Harmony, you're beautiful, and I love you, and I know you want attention, but you gotta wait.
Look at me.
Okay?
Listen.
I see that. You're dancing good. So, like, I don't know. I woke up at like 4 this morning, and so did my daughter. I think because she wasn't feeling well, and we stayed up till like 8, and then we passed out till like 11. Freaking literally laid in bed all day. Like, luckily not luckily that she's sick, but she's sick, so she didn't care. Like, but I'm just falling into a place I don't want to be. And there's your book. You wait. You know you don't interrupt. So, I'm just feeling horrible. And, like, I haven't talked to my ex since New Year's. He watched my video. Like, he brought that chick over that he got pregnant. Like, didn't even warn me. And, you know, it'd be easier to, like, I think it'd be hard no matter what. But it'd be easier to accept if, like, we hadn't been together and he hadn't said those things. But, like, pretty much slept together the whole time. And, like, told me he still loved me, told me he still missed me. And then, like, he brings her over here, and I'm supposed to just greet her and be nice and not be, like, tell her the truth, like, and I text him a bunch of crap, and, like, he doesn't respond to any of it. He totally ignores me, like, just asked to talk to our kid, and like, I wish I would have been documenting what he did to me when we had broke up. Like, if I'd made, like, he knew every single thing that I did. Like, who I was with, where I was, like, took my kid a couple times, and, like, you better not be bringing her around nobody unless you've dated him for 3 months and you know you'll be with him for a long time, you know. And it's like, he definitely wasn't with her for 3 months, and even if he was not fully committed because he was still sleeping with me. And, like, all of a sudden it's okay to, like, throw our daughter into that. Like, just everything he's doing is everything that he, like, laid into me about. And, like, he just thinks he can do whatever he wants, and he doesn't have to take any responsibility or answer to no one. And he's just gonna ignore me. And I just, like, look at myself in the mirror, and, like, I know if my family were to see me, like, with my hair like this, and, like, makeup not done, and, you know what I mean, like, oh, something's wrong, like, or, you know, you need to spiff yourself up, and you need to dress nice, and da-da-da-da-da, and, like, part of me does agree with, like, getting ready and stuff, and, like, making yourself feel good about yourself, but at the same time, like, it shouldn't be so important that you feel like you have to hide if you don't look your best. Like, I just feel like
Mommy?
everything is coming down right now, and I don't know how to handle it. Like, I don't even want to fight for my medicine. Like,
It's okay.
I know.
Hey, Mommy? Wanna bite your nose?
Blow my nose?
Hmm.
Sure. So, I don't know. It's just, my grandma told me, like, a couple weeks ago, if I got to a point where I couldn't pay for my meds, to just call her, and I just don't want to call her. I just don't know how I'm gonna survive. I always end up here. In the Lithium song, they, like, talk about always find my place, always find myself among the ashes. And here in the darkness, I know myself. It's, like, totally makes sense to me.
Hey, Mommy?
I know, I'm a really bad parent because I'm crying and my kids are there. It's like the first time I've cried in I don't know how long. But anyway, so it's definitely been a bad month, but I feel like today is just my breaking point. Didn't even want to come on here, like, it's just like I totally lose all motivation, but I don't even know what to say now, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for listening.